Welcome to practice, yogis. I wanted to start class today with something lighthearted and fun and carefree because we need a lot of that right now. And so to set our intention for today, I will be pulling from the Music Oracle deck. This was a very lovely souvenir find on a travel last year to Spokane, Washington with me mum to see Robert Plant. So I very much so love music. I'm very inspired by it, and I hope that you are too. So let's go ahead and start practice. You will need a mat, you will need a beverage, some water, coffee, tea, and I will see you with your legs crisscross on your mat. Sukhasana. You'll crisscross your legs. Lean back in your seat. Palms are face up. Open mouth, breath out as you arrive here. As you ground down here, you will start to think of a number between 1, 2, or 3. Go ahead, take a moment to marinate. First one that comes to mind, door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3. And so we pick card number 1. You are Ella Fitzgerald. You are your own best teacher. Nothing is more hard-won than innocence, and intuition beats experience. I will post these in the comments too. I'll take a picture. Number 2, if you selected 2, Iggy Pop. Don't waste time growing up. Turn rejection into an art form. If you want inspiration, you have to sneak up on it and catch it unawares. Very cool. I'm into it. Okay, and finally, drum roll, Beyonce. Confidence can be the most powerful aphrodisiac. Be both everywhere and nowhere at once. When someone sings from the heart, don't go tone deaf. Cool, this one's really neat. She's like the queen on the deck of cards. So rad. That's number 3. So we will harness our energy inspired by these rock stars that lie before us, and then we'll honor the rock star within all of us. Chin tucks in towards the chest. Take a little wiggle. Maybe turn some music on as you have the luxury of doing so on your end. And we'll start with a few neck rolls. So off you go. Be sure your ankles are comfortable. I'm uncrossing mine just a bit. You're not dumping your weight into the ankles, into the knees. You're sitting up nice and tall here. You'll find stillness. Lean back in your seat. Take an inhale. Open mouth, breath out. Again, breath in, lean back. Proud to be here. Open mouth, exhale. Arms sweep overhead, extended mountain pose. We start here. Maybe some movement throughout class today if you need it. At any time, you don't need my permission to wiggle. If you want a heated class, just turn on your heater. That's what I did today. I have my thermostat set at about, well, I have it set at 90 degrees, but it's probably about 80 in here. 82, I'd say. We'll find stillness. Take a twist. As you breathe out, you'll look over one shoulder. You're not dependent on this hand, forcing you into your twist. May you relax. Unclench the feet. Back to center we go. Inhale, arms sweep overhead, eyes look forward, no rush. We switch sides, breath out, eyes over the left shoulder. You're sucking in the belly on your breath in. And then as you exhale, you're twisting, looking behind you. Legs stay nice and steady. Off we go. Breath in, arms overhead. Exhale to twist. Inhales to rise. Exhales to twist. Breath in, arms overhead. One more round, we twist. Breath in, arms overhead. We twist. Exhale. Back to center. Take a forward fold. Hands drop down to the mat. Slow the breath. Sway side to side. Three, two, and one. Arms sweep overhead. Let's switch out the legs. Opposite in front of the other. Nice tall stance. Interlace your hands onto the back of the head. As you exhale, round elbows in. Your spine is still nice and long. Breath in, fly the elbows open. Exhale, elbows close. Breath in, elbows open. Exhale, round. One more, breath in. Exhale. Keep the elbows nice and wide. We'll arch to one side. Look up towards the sky. Grateful to add some movement into the body. Create some space in the side body. Come back to center. That's the breath in. Keep your cheeks on the floor. Exhale. We switch sides. And back to center we go. Arms will sweep overhead. That's your inhale. Bow forward as you breathe out. Forehead to the mat. Three, two, and one. Sit up nice and tall. I'll meet you on all fours. Tabletop pose. Go ahead and crawl yourself there as I check to make sure that you're still with me. Yay, you are. There's always going to be distractions in your practice, so while there's spaces in between, you're finding movement, you're not holding the breath, you're having a bit more intuition and trust and faith, right, in your yogi tools. Wag your tail side to side. Let's thread the needle. Left hand will come nice and high. That's on your breath in. Exhale, hand will sweep on through. These are like building blocks. To start, you can just drape your hand across your chest. My pregnant mamas, this is a great place to stay. You're still getting a stretch in the shoulder. Those of you that are taking the full twist, your hips are gonna stay square, down to the shoulder, the temple, and then this right hand is your hand of support. So as you see fit, I will be taking a little tripod hand today. Little wag of the tail. Soften the stomach. Unclench the belly. Active right hand onto the palm. Palm onto the floor, left hand nice and high, unthread your needle. And we'll release your left hand down to the floor. Suck in the stomach, right hand nice and high, take a breath in. Exhales to thread on through. May you start nice and slow. Right hand can just drape. Take a wiggle. Full thread the needles, let's do it. Forehead down. Hips nice and square. If you're not sure, bring your hand behind you. Feel the flatness of your hips and keep your weight nice and even in the knees. Mimic the same depth that you took on the other side. Belly, let's go. Unclench your teeth. We're going to unthread our needle. Press into your left hand. Inhale, right hand unwinds. Take a wiggle. And meet me down on your forearms. Palms are face down. Few rounds of cat and cow here on the elbows. Find stillness. Onto your hands, let's find high plank pose. Step into Phalakasana, take an inhale. Low plank as you breathe out. Upward facing dog, our first one. May you go slow. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Pedal the heels. You're going to lift your heels off of the mat so you're on your tippy toes, and you're going to drop to the edges of your feet. So you're on the arches and edges of the right side of your mat, and then a little bend in your knees. You'll press into the hands. We stretch the side body. Heels back to center. Generous bend in your knees. Inhale. Breath out. Drop both edges to the left side of the mat. Really press your right hand into the mat best you can. Heels back to center. High plank. Take a breath in. Low plank as you exhale. Upward facing dog. Breath is in. Downward facing dog as you exhale to a child's pose. Knees wide, forehead to the floor. You're still in your child's pose. If you're feeling restless and you need to move, go ahead and walk both hands to one side of the mat for a side stretch. Imagine that I was standing behind you, pressing down onto your hips, onto your belt. Your hips aren't moving, just the torso is. Forehead down to the mat. We must spend a moment in the middle, so crawl back to center, forehead down to the floor. Adjust as needed. And then we'll crawl over, switch sides to the left. Back to center we go. Bring the knees together to touch, and you'll start to wag the hips side to side Check in with the low back, be sure everything feels okay. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Right leg nice and high, three-legged dog. Right leg steps through between the hands. I'll meet you in low lunge and we'll settle up for success here. Nice deep bend in the knee. Hips feel okay. Left heel nice and high. Let's do it. Crescent pose. Arms sweep overhead. Maybe you were already there. Eyes will start to look up towards the sky. We're challenging the balance today. Look up towards the ceiling. Really lengthen the belly. 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Bring your hands through to heart center, and we kick into a one-legged Tadasana. Your right leg stays on the floor, left leg nice and high. Off we go. Arms sweep overhead, take a breath in. Left leg crosses over your right. Take a forward fold and hold. If you have blocks or a chair, a table that you could hold on to, if you need more support, just pause the video, press the space bar, and that will help you. We use our breath out to head on down. Using all parts of your foot, you're welcome to bend at your knees. To have a smooth transition back the way we came, bring your hands to heart center and rise up to standing. Seal your right foot on the floor. Left foot will start to lift. One-legged Tadasana, breathe in. Exhale, leg kicks behind you. Take a breath in, arms sweep overhead, crescent pose. Back bend, breathe out. Back to center. Palms pressed together to touch. Let's take a twist. As your left elbow comes down towards the thigh, this is optional. I like to use the thigh to help me, but if you feel like you need a bit more length in your chest, a bit more balance, a bit more scoop of the tailbone, do what you can. Shift your perspective to the right. 3, 2, and 1. Twist back to center, hands down to the mat. Let's flow. High plank, inhale. Low plank, exhale. Chaturanga Dandasana to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, no rush. May your breath help untangle all of those tight spots in your body. Left leg high on the breath in. You're still breathing even when I'm not cueing it. You've got breaths to take. Maybe cue your breath a few moments behind when I'm cueing it so you know where you're going, right? Low lunge as you step your leg through, and then we'll get ready to rise to crescent pose. Take your time. Anjaneyasana. We take this first round nice and slow, no need to rush. Take a back bend as you exhale. Back to center. Sweep your arms overhead. One-legged Tadasana. As Courtney says, one-legged Tada. It's so cute. Ekapada Tada. Off we go. Kick the leg nice and high. Ta-da! On your breath out, foot seals down to the floor. Crisscross the legs. Little bend in the knees. And then we breathe out, we forward fold. I was advertising a chair earlier. This is what I have in mind. Chair in front of you. Slow down your breath. Head down to the chair. props out of the way. First up to standing, hands through to heart center, and then seal your left foot to the floor, right leg nice and high, one-legged ta-da. Exhale, kick the leg back, find your crescent pose. Arms sweep overhead, that's your breath in. Back bend, unclench your back side, right cheek softens. Back to center, inhale. Take your twist, hands through to heart center, check on your knee, check on your big toe, and then our eyes start to shift. Right heel stays lifted. Suck in the belly, 3, 2, and 1. Drishti shift to the floor, hands down to the mat, we flow. High plank, breathe in. Low plank, breathe out. Up dog, breathe in. Down dog, exhale. 5 rounds of breath here, downward facing dog. You're working towards this, right? So if you need a tabletop pose, don't be shy. Any tenderness in your wrists, start to use your ring finger, your pinky finger a bit more than you're used to. Still breathing with me here. Drop down to the knees. We build on. Nice tabletop spines. Stick your right leg out nice and long. Start here, then you'll bend at your knee, and with your toe, you will take a few pulses. Tiger's pose, knee to nose, look towards your knee. Try not to tap your knee down to the floor. Release your tiger's pose, open up the right knee, a little fire hydrant action. You're gonna open the hinge, take a breath in, and close on the breath out. Last one. Knee down, take a round of cat and cow. Left leg out nice and long. Let's say your wrists were tender here. Come onto your fist. That's another great option for you. Flex your toe down to the floor. I'll take this modification with you. Go ahead and bend at your knee. If you don't like the word modification, think of the word custom order. You're allowed to order what you want at a dinner reservation, right? When you're at a restaurant, you get what you want. No shame in your order, right? Same with yoga. Tiger's pose, knee to nose, look towards the knee. 3, 2, and 1. Your knee is hovering for now, then lifting. Breath in. Exhale, close the hinge. Last one. And palms are face down to the floor. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog as you breathe out. Look, step, hop to the top of the mat. Take a breath in. Folding forward, breath is out. Uttanasana. Our first full forward fold of the day, halfway lift. Take an inhale. Fold forward as you exhale. Arms sweep overhead, extended mountain pose, we rise. Take a back bend as you exhale. Back to center. Keep the arms overhead, and you'll cross your right leg over your left and take a side stretch off to the left corner of your mat. Breath to movement, chin up to the sky. 'And exhale, chin down to the floor. Once more, breath in, look up. Exhale, look down. I would say left foot stays on the floor. Come back to center. Right foot comes nice and high. One-legged ta-da. Shoot the leg back. Crescent pose. Exhale. Breath in to rise. Back bend as you exhale. Back to center. Breathe in. Take a twist to the left. Exhale. Twist back to center. Breathe in. Hands down to the mat. Exhale. High plank. Breathe in. Low plank. Exhale. Take your upward facing dog. Breath is in. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Open mouth. Exhale. Look, step, hop. To the top of the mat we go. Uttanasana. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Fold forward. Exhale. Arm sweep overhead. Extended mountain pose. Take a back bend as you exhale. Back to center. Breathe in. Left leg crosses over the right. We find our balance, little bend in the knees. This must feel familiar. Take a forward fold as you breathe out. We have a side stretch to take, so bring the arms overhead. You're reaching to the right corner of the room. You should feel a stretch right away from this hip bone up to the hip. It really depends on how you suction cup your feet down to the mat, then chin up to the sky. Breathe in, chin down, breathe out. Chin up, breathe in, chin down, breathe out. Left leg nice and high, we breathe in. Step back to your crescent pose. Exhale. Arms sweep overhead. Breath is in. Back bend as you exhale. Back to center. We rise. Twist to the right as you exhale. Twist back to center. Breathe in. Hands down to the mat. We flow. High plank. Breathe in. Low plank. Listen up. Back to high plank, breathe in. Downward facing dog as you exhale. 5 donkey kicks. Bend at your knees, heels are tapping your backside. Do your best. Try a few more. Take a child's pose when you're ready for it. Forehead down to the mat. Let's come on up into a seat. I'll see you at the top of the mat. Go ahead and take a sip of water, towel off. I will do the same. A few rounds of breath for you to ground down. Why music oracles? Why did I want to pull from that deck today? Well, I believe last week it was, on Monday I listened to Spotify and I knew exactly what song I was listening to. And then I don't know what happened, but I didn't listen to music until Friday. And that's 4 days of not listening to music. And I didn't realize this until I got in my car. So I hadn't driven in 4 or 5 days either. My Spotify comes on. I listen to a few songs and I'm just like, I'm alive. And Just the right songs came on for me to like even nudge me to be in a better mood. And I realized all of the advice that everyone's giving you to dance and play music and go outside and listen to good songs and stuff, it's very accurate because immediately my mood was lifted. And so may you take a moment to reflect on songs or music, even in the past, even if it doesn't get you as excited as it used to, that feeling of being so sprung on music and having something that just makes your heart sing. There's nothing better than that. We'll go ahead and take a counter stretch to this crisscross pose. So you'll keep your knees on the floor, but you're gonna walk yourself forward and dip your hips down to the mat. Maybe you can hear my hips pop when I do that. Cobra frog. And then we'll crawl back into our tabletop pose. From your tabletop, hover your knees off of the floor about an inch and hover. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Right leg nice and high, 3-legged dog. Bend at the knee, let's take wild thing. Plant your left foot down to the right side of the mat. Right hand will come nice and high. Hi, sunshine. Back to center we go. You need to stay in 3-legged dog. Right leg nice and high. Low lunge as you step on through. Crescent pose, arms sweep overhead. Back bend as you exhale. Back to center, 1-legged ta-da. Kick your left leg nice and high. Exhale, foot crosses over the other, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold forward, exhale. Arms sweep overhead, and your left leg comes with you, 1-legged ta-da. Leg steps back, find your crescent pose, breathe in. Hands through to heart center, take your twist, you've done this before. This time, your left hand's dropping all the way down to the floor. To take your twist, I really hug, hold, touch my stomach, and take a twist. Then right hand can come nice and high. Twisted crescent, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring hand down to the floor. Step back, high plank, breathe in. Low plank, exhale. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Left leg nice and high. 3-legged dog. Wild things, foot will drop down to the right side of your mat. Left hand nice and high, hips lift. Fingertips. We must meet in 3-legged dog. Left leg nice and high, breathe in. Low lunge, step through. Crescent pose, arms sweep overhead. Back bend, exhale. Back to center, 1-legged ta-da. Right leg nice and high, take a kick. And we'll cross at the legs, forward fold. We challenge the balance. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold forward, exhale. Arms sweep overhead, right leg comes with you, 1-legged ta-da. Kick the leg back, crescent pose. Arms sweep overhead, breathe in. Take your twist, hands through to heart center. We build on. Right hand comes down to the floor. Take your full twist. I believe on the other side I needed to hug my knee in more. So when your knee starts to open like this, hold yourself accountable. Left hand nice and high. 3, 2, and 1. Hand down to the floor. Let's flow. High plank. Breathe in. Low plank. Exhale. Upward facing dog. Take a breath in. Open mouth. Downward facing dog. Breath is out. From your high plank, we are coming into a 1-legged frog. So use the knees. Open up one side of the mat. 1-legged frogs, you've got the inside arch of your foot pressing into the floor. You'll lift the knee And if you're ready to go a bit further, off of the forearms, onto the chest. We're building on more sensation. Bend at your left knee, not your frog leg, your other leg. Reach for your ankle, and if you have it, you can bring it into your backside, drive your heel into your glute. But if that doesn't feel good, just let the foot go. Your hip bone needs to stay on the floor. Release the foot. Extend your frog leg out nice and long. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Cobra pose. Press into the hands. Little tuck of the chin. Neck is nice and long. Toes are untucked. Press into the tops of your feet. 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, touch down. And take your frog leg on your left side. Inside arch of the foot onto the floor. We start to relax and recline. Slow down your breath. You're letting the floor hold you. So each breath out is a new opportunity for you to surrender and drop yourself into the floor. Thank yourself for your discipline of coming onto the mat, for this is the most challenging part of practice, truly, is being here. Once you've made it here, we give ourselves great kudos, some gratitude for our discipline. We build on, bend at your right knee, start to reach behind you. If you have the ankle, let's pull it in to the glute. First, you'll release the foot, nice and easy. Don't let it flop to the floor. Then extend your left leg nice and long. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders. We've done this before. Cobra pose. Press into the hands. Pelvic bone presses into the floor. Tuck your toes. We're finding high plank pose. Do your best. Use your knees if you need. Inhale. Low plank as you exhale. Upward facing dog, breath is in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Right leg nice and high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, tiger's pose, knee to nose. Re-extend, take a breath in. Right knee to right elbow, exhale. Right leg nice and high, take a breath in. To the left elbow we go, then straighten your right leg. Keep your right hand on the floor. Left hand comes nice and high. R twisted, fallen, star. 3, 2, and 1. Hand down to the mat. Stay with me here. Right leg nice and high. 3-legged dog. Pigeon pose on the exhale. Raja Kapotasana. If you're unsure what pigeon is all about, I'm sure you do by now, but go ahead and Google it. Look at a few different options for you. This is pigeon. Take a breath in. Figure 7 with the leg. Exhales to lower yourself on down. If you'd like to take mermaid pose, I won't necessarily take the pose, but I'm happy to cue you through it. If you love mermaid, come onto your hands, and your left hand is going to reach for your left foot. A little bit deeper than pigeon. We love a good mermaid. But it must call to you. Release your mermaids if you've chosen to take that. We'll arrive onto our hands. You'll tuck your left toes as you inhale, right leg nice and high, three-legged dog. High to low plank as you exhale. Upward facing dog. Take a breath in. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Left leg nice and high, three-legged dog. Tiger's pose, knee to nose. Re-extend, breathe in. Left elbow, breathe out. Three-legged dog, breathe in. Right elbow, we go. Go ahead and straighten your left leg. Your left hand is staying on the mat. You could stay here. Press into the palms. This is a lovely stretch. Building on, right hand nice and high. Do your best. 3, 2, and 1. Hand down to the floor. Re-extend. Left leg nice and high. Pigeon pose on the exhale. Proud to be here. Puff up the chest. Back foot nice and long. Ekapada Rajakapotasana. This ankle here is your lever. If you need more, ankle up. If you need less, ankle towards your groin. Let's relax and recline. All of our worries, we let them go. Grateful to move our body. Grateful to get some movement. No one regrets going to yoga. Cut out a sliver of time each day to connect with yourself on the mat. You are so worth it. Mermaids, have some fun. Arrive onto your hands. Bend at your right knee. Take a little merm. And just like that, we're ready to go. Your last flow through, and I mean it. Sometimes I wonder if I said that earlier and I lied to you. I'm sorry. Here we go. Left leg nice and high. Three-legged dog. Take a breath in. High to low plank as you exhale. Upward facing dog. Take a breath in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. We're ready for the floor. Drop down to the knees. And you're going to come down onto your spine, whichever way that you see fit. Make yourself comfortable. Take a few rocks and rolls if that serves you. I will see you on your spine. You'll pick your head off of the mat, tuck the chin in towards the chest, and then we will gently reset our head back down to the floor. You're going to keep your right leg in happy baby. So reach for the edge of your foot, and if that's a bit out of reach, then go ahead and grab onto the back of your thigh. And then extend your left leg out nice and long. Bring your left hand to the back of your head. Let's do it. Breath in, elbow to happy baby leg. Exhales to lower down. Find stillness. Hug your right leg in towards your chest. Wind removing pose. Supine twist as you exhale. Knee to the left, arms wide like a T. Where can you soften? Melting into the mat, let your backside go. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Twist back to center. Switch out the legs. So we've got a left leg to lift in towards the chest, and then take a one-legged happy baby. So whatever wiggles you might need to make that happen. You've got a flexed foot. You've got your right hand on the back of your head. Exhales to crunch. Think elbow to knee. See what you can do. And last one here, crunch on the inhale, down on the breath out, left leg in towards your chest, wind removing pose. One of my favorites. If you ever find your sweet spot, stay there. Supine twist as you breathe out, knee over to the right, arms in wide like a T. You know this pose, so nothing to do but breathe. Trust your intuition when you guide yourself down onto the mat. Twist back to center. Both legs will shoot into the sky for legs up the wall. Palms will be face down as you press them into the thighs. Suck in your belly. Right leg hovers, almost touches the floor. Breathe out. Right leg high. Breathe in. Left leg down. Breathe out. Foot up. Breathe in. Right foot down. Breathe out. Foot up, breathe in. Left foot down, exhale. Take it away. 2 more on each side. The more warm of a core, the more filling a Shavasana, I believe. So, from legs up the wall, hug yourself in tight, Apanasana. Give yourself a tight squeeze. A very well-deserved Shavasana. Release your head to the floor, extend your legs out nice and long, palms turn face up. Do not skip this step. This is corpse pose. Breathe life into the body. Sweep the arms overhead, zip the legs together. Knees hug in towards the chest. Hug to one side of the mat. I'll see you in a seat. The same way that we started class today is how we will end it. Sukhasana. This is a pose of ease. Sukha means ease in Sanskrit. And so may you find a place of meditative peace and float as you sway side to side. Euphoric in your practice. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a breath in. Open mouth. As always, the light and the teacher in me is so honored to guide the teacher and the light in you. As we bow forward, namaste. Thanks, yogis. It was a pleasure to practice with you. I will enjoy my sunshine, and I will see you next time on the mat.